there was little development immediately after the war in the design department at Vauxhall, it didn't take long for the creative juices to flow once more. The people of Britain were enjoying peace in their time, and the utilitarian make do and mend principles of the war years gave way to indulgence, luxury and style. Our next Vauxhall is the epitome of elegance and post-war chic, and you can really get a sense of British optimism from this classic 1956 Velox. The first Velox appeared in 1948, alongside the Wyvern, and the Vauxhall 10, 12 and 14 were phased out. The Wyvern retained the 12 horsepower engine from the H-Type, but the Velox L-Type was given a completely new 2.2 litre 6-cylinder engine. There was a growing fascination for things American, and of course the wartime alliance had done much to warm transatlantic relations. Just as Britain was enjoying a design revolution, so were the Americans, and with Hollywood influencing cinema goers once again and television beginning to make an impact, American style was something to aspire to. The first of the Veloxes showed the earliest signs of this American influence on British car design. There was a distinctly racy front end and fared-in headlights, but the steering column gear change was probably the most notable transatlantic import at this stage. Looking at this Velox today, it's evident that Vauxhall were on the right track. This model, known as the E-Type, was restyled in 1951. And between its debut and the end of production in 1957, 342,000 of the newer styled cars had been manufactured at the Vauxhall factory in Luton. With a new, full-width body shell design that boasted stylish front wings and distinctive lights, the Velox was a hit with the increasing numbers of British motorists taking to the road for pleasure as well as convenience. By 1953, Vauxhall, just like the rest of Great Britain, had put the war years firmly in the past, and a new sense of glamour was being celebrated. It was the company's golden jubilee, and they'd come an incredibly long way in just 50 years. From the first Vauxhall of 1903, with its 5-horsepower chain-driven horizontal engine and no reverse gear, right through to the stylish Velox and other contemporary models, it had been a truly remarkable journey, as of course had been the entire first half of the 20th century. For Vauxhall, the future was assured. 13,000 people were employed at the Luton factory, and annual production had reached a record high of 100,000 vehicles. The millionth Vauxhall conveniently rolled off the production line in the Golden Jubilee year, which was perfect timing for the Vauxhall PR gurus of the day. Vauxhall's good fortune reflected that of the nation, and a major initiative was launched to expand. With an injection of £36 million, Vauxhall became a force to be reckoned with, and when you take a closer look at the stylish lines and classic grace of this wonderful Velox, you can see why. For this owner, this particular Velox is rather special. When we mentioned earlier that classic car owners can be, to say the least, reluctant when it comes to parting with their vehicles, we weren't joking. With its distinctive big back window and silver straw paintwork, the car was sold by this owner, but he was delighted to get it back 8 years ago, and he certainly has no intention of parting with it again. With the early motorcars of the 20th century, it was still perceived by the average motorist that getting from A to B was as much as they could ask. But as you've seen for yourself, by the time it got to the Velox, there was much more on offer. This was, as the advertising department was keen to tell us, comfort with flexibility, and the drive was something very special. With its high performance, short stroke engine, this Velox is still a delight to drive, giving the impression of power coupled with ability. And if you're looking to start your own collection of classic cars without going too far back in time, this might just be the ideal choice. Classic cars are rarely bought to be the main form of family transport, so you can let your heart rule your head to a certain degree. If you have a particular model you're looking for, try joining an appropriate car club, because you'll soon discover any that are for sale. Classic car magazines are also very useful, as are classic car shows, but do keep your eyes peeled wherever you go. Adverts in newsagents' windows, for example, can uncover a well-loved and cared-for treasure, and, of course, the internet can not only help you find the perfect classic car to buy, but also turn up all the spare parts that you're likely to need to keep your vehicle running. The Vauxhall Velox is very much a car of the post-war era of new prosperity, and a valuable addition to our Vauxhall collection for this programme. It may not have the seniority of the 3098 or the nostalgic sentimentality of the Vauxhall 10s and 14s, but it has all the glamour of a 1950s Hollywood film star and a comfortable, stylish ride that is worthy of preservation for many years to come.